Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to create dynamic fall damage in Unreal Engine 5 with C++. As you can see there, I've just jumped off from that bit. It's took half health, but I've gone a little bit higher. It's took quite a bit more off here. That's perfect. But let's say we jump from a higher height, it should take all our health from us. So that's what we'll be creating today. So I'm just going to show you now. Jump off here, it should kill us. And it does. So basically, if we're on that platform, we only take a tiny bit of health. If we go a bit further up, it would take more. But if we go to the very top, it'll completely kill us from jumping from there. So yeah, let's jump into the project and I'll show you how to create this. Right, so I've created a project using the third person template and C++. I've called the project DFD for dynamic fall damage. And I've loaded the project up here. As you can see, I've made a little ramp system. So these are different points that we're going to create our dynamic fall damage from. So that's the first point and that'll be the second point. So let's jump straight into the code. Right, in code, I'm going to go to the character and we're going to type in landed because we're looking for the built-in virtual function on the character, which is landed here. This basically tells us if the character's fallen and when it's landed. So let's right click and create that function. Perfect, just there. And inside of landed, what we're going to do is we're going to get a float for velocity. I'm going to equal that to get velocity because we're going to get the downward velocity when they're falling. So get velocity, I'm going to get dot z, and then I'm going to times it by -1. Because if we were timing it by 1, that means it would be going upward. We're checking the upwards velocity. We want to check the downwards velocity. Perfect. And this is how we'll find out at what point, how far we are away from each section to the floor, and that'll tell us when we're going to start taking damage. So what we can do here, do a quick UE log. So UE log, what we want is log temp. Then we want warning, then we want the velocity, and we need the percentage F for velocity, and then it'll output the velocity for us. Perfect. Let's jump back into code and live code dead quick. Perfect, live coding was complete. Now if we click on the output log here and press play, we run up and then drop down. So we get about 1070. So that'll be the minimum where we start taking damage. And then if we go all the way up to here, so we'll do 1050. We'll say about 1400 is at the top where we want to take the maximum amount of damage, or anywhere above there no matter what we die. So let's go back into code, and what we can do here, we need some variables in the character. So the first one's going to be some health. So we're going to have a U property, and it's going to be edit anywhere. I'm going to have blueprint read write. That's perfect. Let's copy that because we're going to use it 5 times. Perfect, so the first one is going to be float health. Let's equal that to 100. I'm going to copy that because I'm going to float min health and float max health. So min, we want the minimum health there is going to be 0. And then we're going to have float, and then we want max health, which is going to be 100. Obviously you can change this in the editor because we're using edit anywhere and blueprint read write. Then next what we want is a float, so I'll just copy and paste from the last one. We want the minimum fall damage, we're going to call it. So DMG there, like that. So I think we said it was 1050 when we start taking damage from fall damage. And let's just duplicate that. And then hold Alt when you clicked on this line. And hit the down key a couple of times and we'll be here. Moves it here for us. And then we want max fall damage. We'll have it about 1400. So perfect. Now we can jump into code. And in here, what we're going to do is have a float called fall damage. And then we're going to equal this to ukismet math library. I think it's included the header for us at the top. Yeah, Kismet math library there. Just in case it doesn't for you, it's just there for you. Perfect. So here we want to use a map ranged clamp. So I'll type it out and I'll explain what it does afterwards. So I want to pass in the velocity, and then we want to pass in the min fall damage. Then we want to pass in the max fall damage. And then here we want to pass in the minimum health and maximum health. Max health. That's perfect. So essentially what this does, let's say we had it at 1200 and 1400, so there's a leeway of 200. So if it becomes at 1300, it'll take half of our health between the min and max health range. So we've got 0 and 100, so that'll take 50. If it takes 100 out of like the maximum 400 we could have, it'll take 25 off the health. So hopefully you can understand what I mean by that. If you don't understand, I will explain it more and just leave a comment. But map arrange clamped is very helpful for stuff like this. So now what we need to do is take off the health. The health equals fmath clamp. I don't like done random range. Sorry about that. And here, what we want to do is get health minus the fall damage. So this will give us our health, but then because we're using a clamp, we're basically saying if fall damage takes 150 health off, which it shouldn't anyway, but just in case it does, then we're clamping it between the min and maximum health, so it never go between the min and max here. So min and maximum health there, so that's 0, that's 100, and we're doing the subtraction inside the clamp. That's perfect. Now we just want a UE log to show us how much health we've got left. So UE log temp again, then warning, then health, then percentage F inside the health text. So health, percentage F, and then health at the end, because that's what we want to output. So perfect. Now what we can do is if we go into Unreal Engine, let's live code and see if it's worked. Perfect, live coding was complete. Let's test it out. So we've got the output log open at the bottom. If we drop off here, we were 20 over the 1050, so it's took 6 health from us. But if we go all the way to the top, it should automatically kill us. There we go, perfect. Because it was 1389 and we already had a bit of health taken off anyway from the previous one, it kills us straight away. So let's just double test that again and run all the way to the top. So I've got 100 health full here. Drop down. It leaves me with 3 health because I didn't quite exactly get to 1400. That's perfect. So the good thing about this system is as you play the game and let's say you do pickups and stuff, you can increase the health and it'll increase it on that map range clamp because you've got a max health value on your actual health, and you can also, let's say you do a pickup that you can like take more fall damage, you could add to the maximum amount of fall damage that the player can take. So you could say an extra 200, so it doesn't take as much damage. So it's quite dynamic, this system. But what we're going to do now, if you just want just that system, then the video is ended for you. But if you'd like to have like some user interface to show how much health the player's got, I'm just going to do a quick progress bar. So to do that, what I'm going to do now is go into content browser. I'm going to go to C++ classes here, DFD, right click here, do new C++ class, go all classes and type in user widget. There's user widget there. Next, I'm just going to call this player HUD. Looks perfect, just like that. Let's create that. Perfect, the player HUD has been created. The first thing we want to do is create a public section. So I've got a public section there. What we want to do in here, type u function. Perfect, just like that. Then we need a void update progress bar. And then inside of here, we want 2 values, float, current health, and another float called max health. Just like that, perfect. We also need a protected section. Perfect, just there. And in here we need a native construct. So let's have that. Perfect. And underneath here we need a u property. Inside the u property we need a meta equals bind widget we need. Perfect, just like that. And this is going to be a t object pointer. And it's going to be u progress bar. You need to forward declare that. Perfect. It's added it as a class up here. Forward declared the class. And we're going to call this pb underscore for progress bar health. Perfect. Let's jump straight into the CPP for it. But we do need to create these 2 functions first before I do that. Jump in the gun as usual. Let's create them 2. Progress bar, I want it just below the native construct. Perfect. And inside of native construct, we need if is valid pb health. So the progress bar, we need to right click and include definition of this. Just there. So components progress bar. Perfect. And here we want to have pb health. We want to have set percentage. I'm going to set it to 1 just to fill. Perfect. Now inside update progress bar, what we need to do, we want this again. So we're just going to copy that, paste it here. And what we need is inside instead of 1, we need current health divided by max health. So if it's 90 and 100, 90 divided 100 would be 0.9. That's how much it fills, because a progress bar only fills up to 1. So if it's like 10, it'll be 0.1. So that's perfect. Now let's jump into the character and add it to the character. So what we need in here, we do need a begin play. So I'm going to put these functions just here. So begin play, just there. Now we need some pointers. So I'm going to put them at the bottom. So we need a u property. So it's going to be a pointer, t object pointer. And it's going to be u player HUD. Forward declare that. I'm going to call this player HUD. And another we need another one of these. So let's copy that, but we are going to change it because it's going to be a t subclass of. T subclass of. It's going to be player HUD class. If you're not sure on how to do like interactive HUDs, I do have a series on my channel, so go and watch that. But yeah, but for the u property for this one, we need edit anywhere and blueprint read write again. Like we have on other classes, blueprint read write just there. And last but not least, we need to get the reference to the player controller. So a t object pointer, and we need a DFD player controller, I think it was. Yeah, just like that. Forward declare that. I'm going to call that PC. Perfect. I need a tiny bit more code and we're done, and we'll create the user widget. The widget blueprint, same thing. Let's generate this definition, the begin play. I keep it down here so you can see it all of it. So we're going to have this PC. So we need to get the player controller. So get controller, and then we're going to have a fall damage. Why am I calling it fall damage? Sorry, DFD player controller. And then just like that, and then I've done something wrong here. I think it's capital C, capital G, get control. That's perfect. Now we need to do here is that if is valid, we need to check if stuff are valid. So the first thing we want to check is the player HUD class, and that needs to be valid before we go into this function. And we need to check is valid player controller. So let's right click and include definitions for both of them. Right click here, put semicolon at the end by mistake, and then now inside of here we can do player HUD equals create widget, and what we want is ADF which U player HUD here. I don't know why it give me some weird stuff there. And then at the end here we want player HUD class. Perfect. And then player HUD add to viewport. Perfect. And I'm just going to do player HUD. I'm going to do update progress bar. I'm going to do the health and passing in the max health, just in case, let's say we load into this level from another level and we've got less health, so it updates their HUD. So what we need to do here is just copy this one line here, copy that, and we could paste this in right after here. Let's take the if is valid as well, because we always want to check if it's valid. But here we want to check the player HUD. We don't need the player HUD class for this one, so that's perfect, just there. Now let's go into Unreal Engine and make this class. So we need to live code first though. Live coding was complete. Let's right click on player HUD. Let's create the blueprint class for it. I'm going to call this WBP underscore player HUD. Let's create the class. It's opened on my other screen, so I'll just drag it over. Sorry about that. So we can't compile. So what we want first. Right, so inside the player HUD, I want to get an overlay. I want to get a horizontal box. So we've got a horizontal box there. Then we want to get a vertical box. So the vertical box is inside the horizontal box, and inside of here, I want to make sure that all horizontal alignment there on fill the whole thing here. Horizontal box there, and then inside of here, we want to get a size box. Put it in the vertical box, and we want 2 spaces. So let's duplicate these spaces. One too many, sorry about that. And let's see how big we've currently got the screen. So let's say we'll do 1920 by 1080. So in the size box, we'll do width override. So we're going to do 1920 divided by 3. That's 640. Perfect. We're going to have the same for all of them. 640. 640 for that one. And then on the height override, what was it? It was 1080, so that'll be 360. Perfect. So 360 for that one. 360 for this one. And as you can see, it's filling up the box here perfectly. But we want the size box at the bottom. And this is where we'll have our progress bar. So let's add in the progress bar. Obviously, we don't want the progress bar to fill that much up. You can put some padding on it, like let's say left 25, right 25, top 200, bottom maybe 100. No, we'll do 50. We'll put that 250. That looks perfect there. So with this progress bar, we need to call it PB health. PB underscore health. Perfect. And I'm going to alter the progress bar a little bit to show you how nice we can get it to look. So let's do background image first. Let's draw it as a rounded box. And then we get the outline settings. We need to put the opacity at 1. Corner radius, let's do 25, 25, 25, 25 there. And you'll notice the difference on fixed radius there, it actually changes it. So and then we want the width to be like 2. So it's got like a black outline, maybe 4. You see it much more there. Perfect. So what we can do is copy this background image and put it on fill image. And what's going to look like here? And let's have it as a different color, probably like green. Would be your best color. Green health sounds about right. So that's perfect. I think that's it all done. Compile, save. What we need to do now is go into the third person character. So that's third person blueprint. Go on the character. It's open on the other screen again, sorry about that. And if we go all the way down to about halfway, I think it was here, it's in DFD character. In the player HUD class, add the WBP player HUD, and here we've got our values which we can change in the editor, but we're not going to change them because they're perfect how we've got them at the minute. So let's compile, save, let's test it out. So I'm going to go all the way to the top and jump off, and that kills me. So let's try again and take off half health. We'll drop down. Perfect, that's how to create dynamic fall damage in Unreal Engine 5 with C++. If you did like the video, please leave a like. If you've got any questions, please leave a comment. And yeah, subscribe if you can. If you don't want to, that's fine. But anyway, have a nice day and goodbye.